From our Main Street newsroom, this is 2 News Live at 3:30.
2 News Live, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Here's a live look in the Hennifer area right now. The Rocky Canyon fire burning more than 15,000 acres. Natalie Wattis will join us with a live report coming up next. Also a live look here for you, the biggest stargazing night of the year, how you can catch a meteor shower. You can look at it at least in the state of Utah. We'll talk with the folks at the Clark Planetarium here coming up. And a live look in Tooele right now here at 3:30. The Tooele community making demands over the data center that is planned there. We've talked about this on the show. We will revisit here in just a few minutes. Great to have you with us here. We are live downtown Salt Lake City in our 2 News newsroom. I'm Brian Schnee. This is 2 News Live at 3:30. We keep it moving, we keep it live here, and that's why we have you here with us Monday through Friday. Frequent flyer of the show now, Natalie Wattis, joining us this afternoon from Hennifer. The Rocky Canyon fire continues to be a concern for residents there, not just in Hennifer, but neighboring communities. We've been seeing some of the radar here today. And Natalie, first and foremost, have you gotten any rain in the area today? I was checking out radar and I was just curious.
A little bit of rain, not too much. But as you can see behind me, it really has moderated fire behavior quite a bit here. We're told, as you mentioned, that the fire is now at 15,366 acres, 25% contained. We are expecting an update within the hour to see if those numbers have changed at all. But like I said, they're saying that these cooler temps and rain have definitely helped stop the progression of the fire. According to that early report today, fire behavior was normal overnight, but it's continuing to push into those high rocky areas in the northeastern corner. Very little growth on the southeast corner thanks to the temperature and the little bit of rain that we're seeing. But despite that, we're hearing that the trees on the ridge are burning hot and fast, and so that fire is making large runs onto the ridge line.
Natalie, any update on what the status is for folks in Hennifer? Will they be able to go back home tonight if they were evacuated?
That's the question on everybody's minds, Brian. We do know that they evaluate those evacuation statuses daily. So as soon as we learn more about that, we'll be sure to bring you an update, hopefully here within the hour.
So Natalie, what's next here from what fire crews were telling you here about what their plans are going into this evening?
Well, we're still waiting to hear on what those plans are going to be, but we do know, and from yesterday we were hearing that they are trying to just secure the perimeter, contain it where it's at, and we are hearing that the fire is just continuing to push in on itself, and that's helping out a lot. We have seen quite a few helicopter drops. They're not as many as yesterday, but they are still circling around, so it doesn't look like the weather affected that too much. But as soon as we learn more about what the plan is this evening, we will share it.
All right, Natalie, we will see you shortly here coming up in our later newscast right here on KUTV 2 News. It is that time. Meteorologist Chase Thomason is here. First question I asked Natalie, actually, is are you getting any rain near the fire area? I was curious. I was looking at the radar on KUTV.com. What do you have going on right now?
We do have some light rain around the Rocky Canyon fire, so that is good news. The heaviest rain is actually towards Park City, but there are a few thunderstorms that we are tracking. The general movement is towards the northeast, about 20 miles per hour. We've had some light rain in Utah County, Salt Lake County, and now we have a few showers rolling through Davis County. So finally, some moisture, also some cooler temperatures. So that's also helping firefighters, and we're not really seeing those gusty, erratic winds, at least at the Rocky Canyon fire. So kind of active weather for this afternoon and this evening, more showers and thunderstorms spreading into northeastern Utah, and we do have pockets of some heavy rainfall in the mountains of southern Utah. Of course, that's increasing the flash flood threat, especially those slot canyons, normally dry washes, rivers, and creeks.
You know me, I'm a nerd for the live cameras, and so is this show. But as I was looking in Big Cottonwood Canyon, specifically at Brighton and Solitude, there was some mixed-looking precipitation up at the higher elevations.
It's rain. I looked. Snow levels
It looked like it, man. I was hopeful.
It's rain. It's rain. I mean, there might be a little bit of hail, maybe a little bit of grapple, but those snow levels levels. I looked yesterday. That's Sunday that you mentioned it. They're at about 13,000 feet. So Hidden Peak is at 11,000 feet.
So we're not getting it.
Probably not snowing. But hey, you never know. Maybe there's something mixing in. That would be great.
What's your next big weather maker here?
We're talking about even more moisture for tomorrow and on Friday. And there's actually a storm system that's coming in that's going to help provide that lift for maybe more scattered to widespread rainfall. So we have a little bit of rainfall for today and definitely more rain possible tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and on Friday. So coming up on 2 News at 4, we're going to kind of walk you through it hour by hour on Future Track. And it does look like we are beginning to dry out just a little as we head into the weekend.
All right, Chase, sounds good. We will see you in just a few minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, so our next guest here joining us on 2 News Live from Meadow Town, which is just north of Kanash and south of the Fillmore area, Haley Aplenalp, who is the treasurer there in Meadow. And Haley has been deemed the sand czar by Gary Bishop, who is the Meadow mayor. They've been preparing for the what-if scenario when it comes to flooding here. Haley has been instrumental in this. And who better to talk about what they're doing in Meadow right now to prepare about flooding. So, Haley, thanks for joining us here. How serious is the flood threat for your area, specifically in Meadow right now?
I'm not exactly sure how serious it is. Our town and our mayor has done a really good job at trying to mitigate where our water sets in our springs and our reservoirs, if you will. I don't know if that's the correct term, but they're trying to really focus there so that hopefully we don't have a whole lot of flooding here in town. But there have been in the past, and so which has brought on this massive sandbag operation that we've been doing.
So, Haley, how many sandbags have you been able to fill and distribute so far? I know you've been active a number of days here trying to get this done for people in the community.
Let's see. I know Monday night we did about 5,000 bags. We've had Linden deliver and Delta deliver and Provo City deliver 3,000 plus bags. So I would say we're probably, and give or take a little bit, but I would estimate around 25,000 bags of sand. Alone, my family and I on Saturday with the youth in our local area, we did, over 1,000 sandbags for people in the area just on Saturday alone from 9 in the morning till 4. So, and that was just a few of us. Other people were also coming and doing their own bags, and we've produced a lot of sandbags in the last couple of days.
Haley, don't go anywhere. I only have about 20 seconds with you, but how does it feel to get the help from, we're seeing the video right now on our screen, from Provo City that dropped off some bags, to have that support from neighboring communities right now as you prepare?
It's been a really humbling experience. It's never fun to have to face flooding and fires and things like that, but to have your local neighboring communities like Delta, who often are our rival for sports and things like that, and Linden and Provo, to come and fill these bags and then bring them to our location and drop them off. It's been really humbling and a lot of gratitude, especially on my end. I've had my eyes open and rubbed shoulders with some great people, and I know that a lot of people have that same sentiment here in Meadow and the surrounding areas that have been blessed by these people and their generosity.
Love seeing the communities come together in central Utah during a time of need. Haley joining us live from Meadow this afternoon. Thank you very much. A couple other stories we want to get to this afternoon before we head over to our content center here. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt will leave her role at the end of the month here. President Trump just announced the departure today, saying Leavitt wants to spend some more time with her family after recently returning from maternity leave, and he says that Leavitt will remain involved as a top outside advisor. Immigration and Customs Enforcement plans to buy electrical shock gloves for its agents. The Department of Homeland Security estimates their total cost at $10 to $20 million. It could be ready for use by the end of March. Opponents are actually slamming the gloves, if you can do that, saying it's a way of inflicting cruelty on immigrant communities. Compliant Technology says the gloves emit a maximum of 380 volts. Also here this afternoon, there's newly updated guidelines that redefine the risk of cardiovascular disease. Because of that, millions of Americans with untreated high blood pressure may now need some medication. In fact, a new study shows nearly 23 million may be newly eligible under those new guidelines, and of those 23 million, nearly 10 million were untreated. That's nearly 1 in 3 Americans with untreated high blood pressure who are not getting medication to control it. The study's author says hundreds of thousands of deaths could be prevented over the next decade. Research found that adults with diabetes would benefit most from the treatment, as diabetes and high blood pressure often occur together. Let's head over to our content center here as we join you back from downtown Salt Lake City in our newsroom. Megan is over here in our content center. What do you have for us today?
Yeah, we've got 2 stories for you here today. Our first one, we've got a young bear that was spotted walking around a Provo neighborhood. We've got a pretty good video of it here on our social media pages. You can see the bear's just walking around, minding its own business, probably looking for some food. Officials tried to search for it for a couple hours, but they couldn't find it. They assumed it just ran back up into the mountain, but kind of a crazy sighting there.
You know, oddly enough, right here yesterday on this show, we talked with DWR about some of these animals coming into our neighborhoods and how often they're seeing these sort of reports. Any indication on how just common this has become?
Yeah, it has become quite common. I think this is the third just this month. They said because of the drought conditions, the bears, are trying to find food. Things aren't growing, so I mean, that explains that.
Back to school for a lot of kids here today, and starting in the next week or two. Our friends in Beaver, actually, they have undergone so much with the Cottonwood fire, the flooding that has followed. I believe they went back to school today.
Yeah, so our Samantha Hoffman, our Southern Utah reporter, did an interview with the Beaver County School District superintendent right here. It's on our YouTube, and they talked about just how important it's been for the kids to get back into a routine. It's been a crazy summer for all of them. He said that the kids hardly had a summer just with the devastating wildfires and floods that happened over there. So he's just talking about kind of how they got back over there.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. All of this you can find either on our website, our socials, Instagram, also on our YouTube page. That is a great spot to find all of our in-depth interviews and a lot of the coverage you may even see here, some of our other newscasts and beyond. It is on our KUTV YouTube page. Taking a live look from Tooele this afternoon. Tooele County residents are calling for a moratorium on data center development. The group Tooele Cares plans to speak tonight before the County Planning Commission, which is considering a proposed 2-lot industrial project intended for a data center. We've previously talked about this as we've heard those concerns from you as 2 News listens to you every day here at 3:30. Residents are raising concerns about water use and the project size. The public hearing is happening in just a few hours. Utah's newest elementary school is set to open today in Eagle Mountain. Live look here from Riverton nearby. Juniper Basin Elementary getting ready to hold a ribbon cutting ceremony. The new school will serve students and families in Eagle Mountain, Cedar Fort, and Fairfield. Alpine School District says the school was built to help meet the area's rapid growth. And this was a good one. I loved hearing about this for our friends in Fillmore. Little Caesars is bringing free pizza to communities affected by wildfires in central Utah. The company is sending a mobile pizzeria to the area, which is expected to serve about 1,100 free pizzas each day. The pizzeria expected to be stationed at North Park in Kanash, so south of Fillmore, providing meals and support to families and crews working to respond to the Widemouth 2 fires and a number of other fires going on in the area. But we have a lot of thoughts every day here, especially in our newsroom, about what's going on in central Utah as we continue to bring coverage on the Widemouth 2 fire and the potential flooding that looms there. Coming up here on 2 News Live at 3:30, Sugar House Park goers say the pond is looking a little dry. Why? On 2 News Listens. Back here on 2 News Live, we're always listening to what you are saying and sharing on social media. One of the big things here, especially for our friends in some of the dark sky locations like Moab and outside of the bright lights of the Wasatch Front, is tonight may be a good night to watch the Perseid meteor shower. And what will that look like? I guess maybe it depends on where you are. This is very popular. They peak tonight. For this, we turn to Jason Trump from Clark Planetarium. Jason, good to have you back here with us to add some context and insight to this. What makes the meteor shower, this one specifically, so special?
Well, this is one of the largest meteor showers of the year. Now, the other thing that's really special about it, too, is that it's important when you're looking for meteors and stargazing in general to be somewhere that is dark. Now, in this case, there is also no moon tonight, as it is in the new moon phase. And so that's going to allow for some dark skies for those that can get away from the clouds and some of the other weather things that are here. But I wanted to actually explain a little bit about what a meteor shower is. So in space, there's a lot of different things, and one of those things are comets. And in this case, there's a comet called Swift-Tuttle that comes by through our solar system every 133 years, and it leaves behind a trail of dust and debris, little bits of rock. And then the Earth, as it travels around the sun, comes and runs into that. And this creates these little streaks of light that scientists call meteors that you may have seen before. Maybe you called them a shooting star. And so we get a peak of that during a meteor shower when we run into that trail of debris that's left behind from those comets. And meteor showers do happen throughout the year. Of course, this being one of the bigger ones. There's other ones that happen, especially in the winter coming up. So if you don't get the chance to see this one, that's okay. There's going to be others, but if you get a chance to go out and it's clear skies, enjoy it. And the thing to just keep in mind too, it is the peak, but also, for the next little while, it's active until the 24th of August. So if you don't catch it tonight, go out another night. And we just want people to go out under the stars any clear night and look up. That's not something that we, as people do enough. We don't take advantage of that enough. So that's kind of the message for tonight. Any other things?
Jason, when
Brian,
and where are some of the best? Where are the best places to see this? You mentioned dark sky. I think we all, at least if you lived in Utah long enough, you have a general understanding. But where would you recommend people look up? And when is the best time to be out there looking for this?
Yeah. Well, the best time is going to be, tonight if you can swing it. But it looks like there's some stargazing events happening at some of the sites across Utah. I mean, of course, southern Utah is a great place to go stargazing. But if you don't want to travel that far, there's even places that are dark sky certified sites in the northern part of the state as well. A little bit closer to where some of us live. And, as long as you can go somewhere dark that has a good view of the sky, you can see a wide area, so there's not a lot of obstructions, trees, mountains, whatever it is. That's going to be the best bet for you. And again, if you can't get out tonight or if the weather's not good where you're at, plan a stargazing trip the next time there's clear weather. The Perseids will be active for a few more days. There's other meteor showers to look forward to. There's one in mid-December, for instance. That's the Geminids that's really popular. And so go out, check that out, and take advantage of the dark skies that we have here in Utah whenever you can, whether there's a meteor shower or no meteor shower.
Jason Trump there from the Clark Planetarium, always a wealth of knowledge and education. And if you take your family over to Clark Planetarium, make sure to grab Jason and say, hey, I've got questions. We appreciate you joining us here on 2 News Live this afternoon, Jason. Always good to see you. Something folks in Salt Lake City are talking about, Sugar House Pond in the park area. Reddit users are saying the pond is basically gone. It's completely drained. And park goers are asking when that pond will be restored. It's a popular space, obviously, for people like to hit some recreation. Comment here on Reddit says, we're in a drought, always have been. Sadly, we will continue to be. It's a good thing to even have water in the canals and rivers. I think there's a lot of questions about, will we have the water here and where does it obviously come from? The park has also seen the ongoing renovation and construction projects. We're looking into the timeline for the pond here and why this is happening. And as we can get some more context for you, we hope to bring it to you right here with an update. Maybe we'll do a live show by the pond. I don't know. We can get creative here on 2 News Live at 3:30. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's head out to Tooele here now. We showed you Tooele earlier when we were talking about the data center conversation, but folks in Tooele say their garbage bins during the collection, some have been damaged and they have been forced to pay the fee. The city quoted them for a $65 fee for a replacement bin. Other residents say they've had a similar experience. So we've asked Tooele City about the $65 replacement fee specifically, and the city says its garbage service costs $13 a month with a separate fee for replacement cans, as we've got a live look here from Main Drag in Tooele. City officials say residents who believe their bin was damaged during collection can contact the finance department to have the charge reviewed. So one of the comments here saying, ours broke too from them, but I'm not paying for another one. And again, that advice would be to contact them directly. Taking the comments on social media, it's good for 2 News listens, but you should call the finance department. Who doesn't love to hang on the phone with them? 2 News listens every day here, 2 News Live at 3:30. We hear what you're saying, especially those Reddit threads. You are just popping off on the Reddit threads lately, and that's where we're seeing a lot of your engagement and questions about things going on in our communities. We talk about it every day here at 3:30. We'll be right back to wrap things up. Back here on 2 News Live at 3:30, a live look in the Mill Creek area this afternoon for you. And just a few hours ago, there was a fatal crash in this general vicinity here by 39th South. A car crashed into a parked car at a local business, and the adult male who passed away at the scene has not been identified. And police there with Unified PD were saying they may be able to share that coming up tomorrow. 39th South between Highland and 13th East was impacted here. That road has been reopened in the last hour or so. Let's turn things over to Jim Spiewak here, who will be holding down the fort on 2 News at 4 o'clock. Also has this in-depth conversation at 4:15 today. Tyler Robinson back in the news because of some additional documents that have been filed regarding the court process.
That's right. So his defense attorneys filed a briefing today in response to that preliminary hearing that finished up a couple weeks ago, and it's very interesting what they laid out. We talked to a criminal defense attorney not associated with the case who says, listen, they didn't get into great detail about whether or not Tyler Robinson was there that day, whether or not he allegedly pulled the trigger, but instead they tried to get the death penalty off the table. The judge still needs to rule on that, so we talked to an expert about that coming up.
Coming up at 4:15, that'll do it for 2 News Live at 3:30.